Hey there, good evening. Welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock, hard rock, heavy metal, and other forms of rock music. So it's Friday night, so it's a Friday night live experience. This week we have one of my group of seven again, a concert I picked out a while ago, but wasn't sure I was going to do it this week, and then because I was looking for something that's from them on tour now, but I didn't really see anything that really interested me, at least not enough of it to make a whole concert out of. But this I liked. It comes from 2012. It's a live Styx concert from 2012 in which they play the entirety of The Grand Illusion and Pieces of Eight, which has become kind of a I guess you would call it kind of a something, I don't know what you would call it. A lot of older bands are doing this now, bands that have like a long history, a lot of longevity, and a lot of classic albums. What they like to do is play a couple of them. I think Yes did this a few years back when they did Drama and, God, I can't remember what the other one was. They did Drama anyways, I remember that. So, but anyway, so Styx decided to do these two, and to me, these are two of their very best albums, The Grand Illusion and Piece of Eight. And they did it in a way that makes you really appreciate the albums. They did it from the first track to the last track, and they played them exactly the way they are on the albums, which I thought was really, really memorable and really brought me back to my time period in the late 70s when Styx became a band for me, and the music really started to really touch me quite a bit. So anyways, they start out with the concert. It's a live concert, of course, and I think it's, I'm not sure, they don't say where it is, but it looks like it's in a kind of smaller venue. I don't think it's a huge, like, stadium venue. It's more of a smaller venue. When I say smaller, maybe it's less than 1,000 people, I think. Anyways, it starts out with this kind of thing where it's drawing back like they do in Star Wars, and it's all written on the like the way they did at the on the intros to the Star Wars movie, which I think is really kind of interesting, and it also reflects the time period of which these two albums came out. So really, really neat thing. Excuse me, I got a bit of a sore throat today. I did a video earlier, but my throat is still bothering me quite a bit. Anyways, they start out, of course, with the first album they do. They did these in chronological order, so they did The Grand Illusion first. And they start out, of course, with The Grand Illusion, which is, usually one of the songs that they like to start out with. It has that kind of bombasticness that comes out really well at the beginning of something. And they have Lawrence Gowan doing the vocals on this particular track, and I think it's just outstanding start to the concert. Then they go, of course, the next track on The Grand Illusion would be Fooling Yourself, The Angry Young Man, with Tommy Shaw on lead vocals this time. He also plays acoustic guitar on this particular song with JY playing the electric. This is the first appearance in the concert of Chuck Panozzo. He comes out and plays bass. Ricky's playing the double neck guitar on this, probably because he's playing rhythm guitar as well. So then they go to Superstars, and JY does that kind of vocal part at the beginning, that voice part at the beginning, introduction, and then Shaw sings the song, and then he does that other kind of voice part too, which is, I think, towards the end of the song. They do a twin guitar bit as well on this song, really, really tastefully done. And the song sounds perfect. It sounds just like the album. Okay, so the next song, of course, is their probably seminal song, Come Sail Away. I like this song still. I don't overly like it anymore. It's probably got a little bit of burnout syndrome from it, from being played so much, but they get Gowan doing this song as well, and he does vocals. He's a tremendous vocalist. He doesn't sound a lot like Dennis DeYoung. Like, I don't mistake them for either one or the other, but he's within the range of Dennis DeYoung, and he really does a really good rendition of this song. I think he's as good as as it gets, and he does the piano bit at the beginning as well. Okay, the next song, Miss America. This is JY's first appearance singing on the album, in the concert, and he nails it. I think his voice isn't as perfect as it once was. Of the three, I think he's probably the weakest voice, but still like really good, and it sounds just like JY, which I love. Tommy does the introduction for Miss America at the beginning as well, and then again Chuck's back playing bass again here. Man in the Wilderness is a song that is very proggy in nature. I think is really it's been a song I quite like off this album. To me it's a deep cut that I don't think they've ever played this in concert. I don't remember them ever playing this before, but they do such a good job. Tommy does the intro here, and then it's him singing as well, and he does the guitar solo. It's a pretty dominated song by Tommy Shaw here. Very fantastic, I think. Then you get the Castle Walls with Gowan singing, and they do that twin guitar solo, and then at the end JY does the solo as well. So really good song. Castle Walls is another one of those proggy songs that's kind of a deep cut that there are quite a few people out there that wouldn't know this song, but for all Styx fans, this is just like one of their best songs, and we all know it, of course. And then it ends off with the grand finale, which is really well done. Twin guitar solos again, Gowan doing the vocal at the end, or the voice part anyways. Okay, so then they have this brief intermission, and before I forget, they do this kind of skit thing at the beginning where it's a kid in his room and he's got the Grand Illusion album and he puts it on, and then about halfway through he flips it over, and they do the same thing with Pieces of Eight. They have the kid switching out the albums and putting Pieces 8 on and then flipping it over for the other side. Which is, really classic, really gives a feel for how this album was played out, So then they start out, of course, with The Great White Hope. Gowan doing the introduction, and then JY doing the vocals here. Fantastic job on this. This is, to me, one of the great JY songs that's kind of underrated. Like, people don't know. If you're not a Styx fan, maybe you don't know about this song, but it is a fantastic song. He does the solo here too, which is great, Then they go to the next track out is I'm Okay, with the intro by Gowan, and he does this little bit about Popeye, telling the story about Popeye, about the spinach, and then saying, but the one Popeye phrase I always get is I am what I am, and he says, and I'm okay with that, right? And that's how the song starts, which is great, He does that little church organ bit too, which I really like on this song. Next up is a song that's long been one of my favorites for singing in the shower. Probably one of the very first songs I like to do that with. Tommy Shaw and vocals, and that's Sing for the Day. Such a great singer, and he does this song so perfectly here. Then they have the Message, which is a bit of a keyboard spot by Gowan here, and it's a little keyboard spot on the album, and then it kind of leads up to Lord of the Ring, Lord of the Ring. Another song by JY, another song underrated by JY, but definitely one of my very favorite deep cut Styx albums, with again the twin guitaring by him and Tommy. Then they flip the album over, of course, visually on the screen, and out comes Blue Collar Man, Long Nights, as they call it. I don't know why they always put those little phrase parts at the end, Long Nights, and the other one with the Angry Young Man. Fooling Yourself and Blue Collar Man's good enough for me. Tommy Shaw doing the singing and doing the solo on this, of course. One of his great tracks, This song stands the test of time. I think many people can still kind of relate to the story about the Blue Collar Man story as well. Then we get to Queen of Spades. My favorite song on this album, my favorite album, my favorite album, my favorite song. Is it my favorite song of all rock songs? I don't think so, but it's pretty close. It's in the top 5 for sure. Definitely my favorite Styx song. Definitely my favorite album, Pieces of 8. So, anyways, he does the intro here, which is the introduction done by J.Y. Gowan does the vocals, and J.Y. does the solo here, and he does like amazing solo on this as well. I really like it. Queen of Spades, fantastic. Then they get to the crowd pleaser, probably one of the biggest songs they've ever done, Renegade. A little bit of a keyboard bit by Gowan at the beginning, and then Shaw doing the vocals, of course, and J.Y. doing the solo. So all three of them are in on it this time. I don't remember seeing Chuck on this particular album on the stage. He was on the Grand Illusion. He appeared 2 or 3 times during the course of the presentation of the Grand Illusion album, but I don't remember seeing him too much on the. I don't think he was at all out there for any of the Renegade, any of the Pieces of 8 album. So they do the Renegade, great, another great track, and they do Pieces of 8 with Gowan singing and Shaw doing the solo. Piece of 8, which is the title track. There's no bad songs on this album. In fact, there's no mediocre songs on this album. You get to Aku Aku at the end, which is just kind of the final keyboard bit. So Aku Aku and The Message, I consider them as like little instrumental parts. But all the other songs on the album, the other 8 tracks, which are all songs, are all either really good or great. There's no bad songs on this album, and that's probably why it's my favorite album. It wasn't always my favorite album. It became my favorite album maybe a couple years ago. Took over from Just a Game, which was always my favorite, and that's another album that has no bad tracks. So, anyways, so there you have it. It was a great concert. There was lots of stuff to see, lots of guitar soloing, like super great songs. Well sung. They were all very well sung. I had no problem with any of the show. It was just a fantastically orchestrated concert. And featured, of course, with Styx on stage were Lawrence Gowan, who was lead vocals and keyboards. Tommy Shaw, lead vocals, guitar, acoustic guitar. I didn't see him do any other instruments because these 2 particular albums were more heavy, prog-oriented albums, so there wasn't as many of the little mandolins that he plays later on and stuff. J.Y., of course, doing both rhythm and lead guitar parts and doing the twinning most of the time and doing vocals as well. I think he did 3 songs. Lord of the Ring, Great White Hope, and Miss America. He did those 3. All great tracks. Ricky Phillips played bass great, and he does a lot of backing vocals here, and he's right in there. I like this guy a lot, and he doesn't take any kind of offense or anything to Chuck being out there playing bass once in a while. And it's nice that Chuck even came back to play bass, because I know he's not a well man, but he was in there playing bass again, which is great. And then, of course, what can be said about Todd Superman that hasn't been said? This guy, I always liked John Panazzo. I thought he was a great drummer, but this guy is just off the charts. He's a very underrated drummer, I think, and he hits those notes, and he's fast too. Like, he's really good. He gets everything perfect, I think. So there you have it. Styx live 2012, The Grand Illusion, and Pieces of 8, 2 of the great Styx albums played in their entirety live in a very nice venue. Lots of guitar soloing. The songs are just perfect, I think, and I think all 3 vocalists sound perfect on here. I thought Tommy Shaw was a couple songs there. His voice was right up there off the charts. This is a guy at that time is probably pushing over 60, and he's just nailing it right out of the park, right? So there you have it. I hope you enjoy it. just punch in Styx Live 2012. You should come up, but if it doesn't, you punch in Grand Illusion and Pieces of Eight, and it should come up. And just watch this concert. It's fantastic. I'd like to get this on CD myself or on DVD. I've been looking for it. I haven't seen it yet, but maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe it does. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video of Friday Night Live experience. Next week we're going to maybe do another concert of another of my favorite rock bands. I'm not sure yet. I may do a CD yet. I haven't done one for a while, but I'm just getting into this. I never got to go to concerts too much because of my hearing. So when I can do a live concert that I've seen, I like to talk about it. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you would like to make a comment or whatever you want to do, and please hit the like and subscribe and tell me what you think. Anyway, so I hope you have a good evening, and this is Prog Monster signing out. Bye.